Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this. I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue, through the silence and the roar. Still blue, even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this. I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pit pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of Chelsea News Roundup Show. I do hope you're all doing well. And this is Chelsea Perspective, and I am your host, Coachila. Today we have a few items lined up because not a lot is happening. We're just focusing on two players, maybe at most three. And the three of them, you already know. We'll talk about Alejandro Garnacho, the possibility of him joining Chelsea, whether what we're seeing out there are all just rumors. And then we'll talk about Yorrel Hato to Chelsea, Xavi Simons to Chelsea, and the rumors that Chelsea are looking at to sign Gianluigi Donnarumma, which I think is absolute hot dog, in my opinion. But yeah, and as usual, you know how we operate because we keep it interactive here. We don't have too many lined up, but at the same time, because we keep it interactive, chances are we talk about a lot about the little stuff we have lined up here. So thank you and welcome again. And I hope you're still celebrating because we are world champions. We do have 4 years to celebrate. It's not easy. And don't let anybody convince you to do otherwise. Keep celebrating. If anybody thinks it's easy, let them do it. Okay? All right. What do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I'm not sure why. I'm not seeing everything in the chat. Okay. Julius Owemi is there. He says, hi to you too. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular evening. It's 5:43 p.m. for me. All right, without wasting much of your time, we will start addressing the items we have lined up. But before we do that quickly, I want to, because we're streaming in a vertical format, people are not used to that format that much. Press and hold your screen for just about a second. Then you see the bells and whistles, which includes the like button, a share, and how to join the comment session or the live chat session. But thank you for finding the time to join us. The first item here, something I'm quite sure a lot of us already know about. Joao Felix has completed his move to Al-Nassr on a 2-year contract. He has already participated in his first training session. That was quick. And I'd swear a few days ago that he was on the verge of joining Benfica. And it was easy to conclude that that was going to be the case because Benfica is, again, where everything started for him, his boyhood club. And he was making public comments, maybe with the intent of trying to make it possible for them to get him on a cheap. And boom, Al-Nassr came calling. And you could argue probably Ronaldo did make a call to him. And I think that was probably the reason why he changed his mind without hesitation. And yeah, helped Al-Nassr pull off one of the hijacks of the transfer window. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to us too. Good business for us. I was thinking it was going to be really, really difficult to get him off our books, especially when it was when Benfica were one of again the front runners for his signature. Give me 1 second here. So I thought that was it. That it was going to be difficult for us to get anything sizable from his. But I'm quite sure we're getting a lot. I get it. The surface amount, for lack of a more specific time, does seem as if we're getting nothing out of it. But there are details like selling clauses and all that. So I'm happy. I hope he learns a lesson or two there. Under the guidance, I must say, a lot more like what's the language I'm looking for? More like that's the language I'm looking for. Under the guidance of Ronaldo, let me just leave it at that. Maybe he comes back to Europe a much better player, humble, and then realize, that life sometimes you don't get everything you want, and you just have to adapt. But that's by the way, Ty. Big up to you. I appreciate you. 2-year contract. Is Felix 25 or 35? You could argue the 2-year contract is just. I mean, I think young players that go to Saudi, a lot of them do that. So if you don't like it, it'd be easier it'd be easy for you to come back to Europe. And for me, I'd say it's good. Mentorship, exactly. Under the mentorship of Cristiano Ronaldo, maybe he learns a thing or two about life because, that's a good player in there, and I like him. But that's why, anyway, good luck to him. I hope he does well there. I hope he still reaches, or you could say, uh, reaches the level of which I believe he's capable of reaching. He's that good, really. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 7 likes, but I believe we can do a lot better than that. We have 13 people following the show on YouTube, but a total of 68. 13 on YouTube, the rest are shared between X and Facebook, whether equally Cucurella doesn't know. Alex Matthews. How do you pronounce your last name? Apologies if I'm butchering it. Thank you for finding the time to join us. I do hope you're doing well. So, congratulations to Joao Felix. Congratulations to us also, us Chelsea Football Club, because I didn't know him leaving this club was going to be that easy. So this one, for multitude of reasons, doesn't make any sort of sense. And in all honesty, maybe I would stick with the just concluded season. Robert Sanchez actually finished the season better than him. Yeah, Robert Sanchez finished the season better than him. Much better shot stopper, actually better on the ball than him. I've never seen him as a goalkeeper that's good on the ball. And head to head, of course, we met them in the final of Club World Cup, and we did beat them. So, which means Robert Sanchez still, he still did come up. Did come out. What's the correct way to phrase it? Finished the game the better goalkeeper, made some important saves. Him scoring against him on the day was actually very easy. Not rooted really. He did dive for the 3 of them. Actually made an attempt to stop the goals on the 3 occasions that we scored against them in the first half. But didn't do enough to stop them. Couldn't actually. It wasn't his fault. The goals were well taken. So he did his best, but couldn't. So going by that final, it's easy. Robert Sanchez, the better in terms of head-to-head comparison. But overall, he's no upgrade to Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez is a much better goalkeeper, in my opinion. Sanchez is an excellent shot stopper, but one huge issue, the lapses in concentration, which you could argue not that much of an issue. Again, from mid-season to the end of the season and at the Club World Cup, looks like he's turned again. He's overcome that what we dread, the lapses in concentration that happens every now and then. But I'm happy with Robert Sanchez, and plus his salary for me a huge issue. And why do you think Luis Enrique isn't pushing for the club to get him to sign a new contract? Because he's not good on the ball, really. So despite reports in France, Chelsea are not currently among the clubs interested in signing goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma. Yep, and it does make sense. His salary also a huge problem. A lot of people Mesole. Oga Jude, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to be part of the conversation this evening. Thank you. I cannot thank you enough for that. Also here, Donnarumma will be too expensive, both from a salary and the transfer plus. I still think Meyer is a better choice, and he agreed personal terms with Chelsea, and could still happen actually. But in the case of Donnarumma, for me, in my opinion, he's no upgrade to Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez is a much better shot stopper, in my opinion. And again, if he can overcome those occasional lapses in concentration, I think, I wouldn't mind him being our goalkeeper in the coming season. But that's why we keep dropping the likes and the stream people. The likes to go a long way. This will not happen, and clearly we're not interested in signing him as rumored. The second item, was that the first one? Okay, second one. Okay, that's the second one right there. And the third item, Garnacho, Alejandro Garnacho to Chelsea, not going away. And this reads that Chelsea could sign both players, Xavi Simons and Alejandro Garnacho. So there's a really concrete possibility for Chelsea to go for both of them. Garnacho is a player they like, and he would love to stay in the Premier League. He's been saying that. I think he said that 1,000 times. Here's the thing: do I want Chelsea to sign Alejandro Garnacho? No, for me. Do I think that's a possibility? It happens, absolutely, and it does look like it's going to happen. And if it happens, honestly, I'd have no option than to support the player. Here's the thing: I don't know him personally, and I don't think it makes sense to just go by what we're hearing with regards to his so-called attitude or behavior. Look, just take a step back and look at Manchester United. They've been a mess for a few years right now. You can say, let's just go with 2 years and look at the players that you could argue has the players have had a falling out with the hierarchy of Manchester United. It includes what's his name, the English international, also Marcus Rashford. There's also Jadon Sancho. There's also this guy, Alejandro Garnacho. A few of them. So you could argue the case of Garnacho isn't in isolation. So something isn't quite right at Manchester United, and I don't think it makes sense to just blame the player going by what we've heard with quote unquote his behavior, and we don't know him personally. Maybe driven by his brother's behavior on social media. It's quite easy to just believe, yeah, he has an attitude issue. But for me, I don't want us to sign him. But if we do sign him, I will support him. I don't really care what people say about him, because I don't know him, and I believe those that are saying whatever they're saying about him, they don't know him either. What's the update on Xavi Simons? Close, but we'll get to that particular topic in a bit. So just stay tuned there. That's Amo Alawa late. Thank you for that. Boo! Stop the hating on Garnacho. But Vic, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Oladipo Mesole said, except we are trying to launder money for United, I don't see the need of a Garnacho. Just like we laundered money with Joao, Felix, and now and now flipping him. Maybe we want to flip him too. I mean, I'm not sure what to make of that. If the manager wants him, I'm not going to argue against that. And chances are he wants him. And I don't think with sign a check and give to Manchester United if the manager doesn't want him, irrespective of how anybody sees it or believes that the case is, whatever they believe the case is. You wouldn't judge him in a tricky environment. Yeah, exactly. That's not to say he's the man. I'm not saying he's the man, but I'm just saying that the argument driven by the argument for Chelsea not to sign him, driven mainly by the belief that he has attitude issue, I don't think makes sense. We don't know him personally. And if we're being objective, I think it's important to consider the situation at Manchester United, how messy things have been there for a while now. But that's a small opinion anyway. Let's see. A time to compare Garnacho's stats with Gittins and Morgan Rogers. Time to educate your viewers. I don't want to do that, but let's do it anyway. Let's just do it. I think Gittins part, yeah, definitely better output. Yeah, if we're going by if we're going with just the concluded season. Give me a second, I'll get to it in a bit. Garnacho, the Nacho Ghana. Yeah, exactly. You can flip it however you want and say it the way you want it. He don't need Garnacho. That is just you. Yeah, if the club, if Chelsea wants him, yeah, I think would sign him in a heartbeat. As long as we can get him for a good price. Will they loan Esteva out? It's never going to happen. We haven't. What? I'm not sure what you're saying. There, I'm old school here. Houston. They're not loaning Estevao to anywhere. He stays. And again, you have to also pay attention to how much we paid for him. I don't think he's the sort of talent or the sort of player that you, again, after getting him to sign for you, you send him out on loan. I think he'd push to leave immediately. Unfortunately, Courtney says give him a chance. Mind you, will make anybody have attitude problems with all them what? All them rats over by Old Trafford. Jesus Christ. Wing forwards. Okay, yeah, okay, there you go. All right, let's compare. Let's fulfill Vic's request. Yeah, so let's do this. But this thing, a lot of pop-ups actually. I think it will slow down my system a bit, but let's see how I can manage it. If I am able to log in quickly because I have a pro version, then yeah, it's the system again consumption won't be memory consumption won't be that of an issue. Okay, login. Let's see what it does here. Okay, there you go. I think I'm logged in actually. So you said compare who? Uh, okay, time to compare. Garnacho starts with Gates. Okay, let's do it. Sign in. Let's do it. So forward. So let's do Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho. How'd you spell it again? Garnacho. More likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Hey, what is it? No. What is it? Why am I not saying? How'd you spell it again? Garnacho. With an R there. Okay, Alejandro Garnacho, Manchester United, 24-25. Okay, Jamie Gittins, 24-25, and he's 20. Okay. All right. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Key passes and the minutes. Even though okay, Garnacho played a lot more. Garnacho has 2,458 minutes. Gittins has 1,849 minutes. So it's important to consider the volume of games they each played. But yeah, even at that, Garnacho has Gittins has more non-penalty XG. Okay. Gittins more dribbles. Oh yeah, Gittins is in the top 1% in terms of successful dribbles in Europe. Ball carrying Gittins. Crosses more from more crosses from Garnacho. More key passes from Gittins. Gittins, you could argue, I yeah, he finished the season better. Let's just stick with how they finished the season. I'm not gonna get into who's the better player because I don't really think they're the same profile. One is more direct, one more, you could say, has a lot more to his game. But I would choose Gittins over Garnacho. Yeah. I hope you guys can see this, the numbers on the screen. But that's, by the way, let me give the microphone back to those of you in the chat. I think I've addressed that. This one I've addressed that. We don't need Garnacho. That's just what you think. Chances are the club, the hierarchy, the club's hierarchy, and the manager all think we need them, especially the manager. If the manager thinks we need Garnacho, we're definitely getting that deal over the line. Will there look? No, that's not going to happen. I think I've already talked about that. And we have Courtney. Courtney, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. I do hope your absence simply means, yeah, that you've been busy. And if that's the case, we're happy for you. Give him a chance. Man United will make anybody. I think we've addressed that too. But Courtney, more importantly, nice to see you. Wing forwards. Okay, wing is okay. Let's see. Hi to you too, Lusula. As I said yesterday, Newcastle will go all the way for Šeško, just in case Šeško chooses to go to United, and then Newcastle will have no other option than pay 80 million for Jackson. Okay, let's keep the topics aligned. Otherwise, I will assume you're having a good conversation with someone in the chat, which you have every right to to do. And we actually encourage you to do that. Enjoy yourself, have a good conversation with a community member in the chat. Thanks to you too, even though I don't like you. But that's, by the way, that's Data MB. I use the paid version. It's good though, but I want to use the one that Football Yannick is using. I like that one better, but this is good. This is good actually. Shurenat Govindarajan, nice to see you, my bro. I do hope you're doing well. My brother Coachila, we are not seeing the world champions crest on your background. I think I will get one. It's actually easy. I can print one out, and yeah, this space here would be really nice to have one there. I'm actually not happy that I ordered the shirt, the new kit, before we became world champion, and now Dante is telling me he will order one with that crest, and now I'm jealous. But I'm not gonna order another one just for the sake of having that on it. But the giveaway that we do, when the season starts, the Premier League starts, I think the lucky winner will have one with the crest on it. Travis Chris, get in the background. Where is the order? Garnacho cheese, Garnacho. Tacos, baby. We are doing much better business with these ownership. With this ownership, keep the blue flag flying high. Targeted, you could say. We're signing players. We want players we need. We're not signing players for the sake of it. We're not signing names like we did in the past, and that makes me happy. It says, let's see, you need to add the highly hyped Morgan Rogers. Okay, let's add Morgan Rogers to it. I actually like Morgan Rogers, and I wouldn't actually compare him because he's more of a 10 than he is a winger, in my opinion. Which is why, again, that's some reason. It's the reason why I like what's his name? The reason why I like Xavi Simons, because he's more of a 10. So Morgan Rogers, let's see. Ooh, what in the freaking world? No, that's another Morgan, please. What the heck is this? Queens Park Rangers. I was like, what am I seeing here? Okay, Morgan Rogers, Aston Villa, age 22. Okay, let's see. That's more like it. But even at that, again, and I've always said that I'd take Xavi Simons over Morgan Rogers. Okay, let's take out Gittins, because yeah, Gittins traditionally a winger. Let's compare Rogers and Morgan Rogers and Xavi Simons actually. Garnacho actually much better than, yeah, and even though Rogers played a lot more, dang it, yeah, Garnacho more crosses, more better ball carrying, better dribble, slightly edges Morgan Rogers. When it comes to non-penalty goals. Wow. Ganacho actually, if we're going by their respective numbers, outputs, yeah, Ganacho much better actually. Not even close. Unfortunately, eye tests don't tell everything, but people, I think they're just going by, you could say, the narrative that he has attitude issue. Some will just only mention his brother's behavior on social media, and that's that. Nothing else. But I'm sticking with the fact that Manchester United, they've been a mess for more than 2 seasons right now, and the hierarchy and the manager all have had a falling out with Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, and Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony. So I don't think it makes sense to just take whatever they tell us about his behavior and run with it. But that's, by the way, we move on from that. So if I add, let's compare Rogers to Gittins, to actually Xavi Simons. I'd take Simons over him anytime, any day. But I wouldn't mind Rogers if we don't get Simons. That's because he's more of a 10 also and brings balance to the squad, rather than again more of the same profile of signings that doesn't help us. So yeah, Xavi Simons better non-penalty XG, dribbles, bet more. Rogers edges him in terms of dribbles, ball carrying. Yep, we know that already. Simons edges Morgan Rogers, crosses Simons edges him. Key passes Morgan Rogers edges him a bit. It's about the same, but that still takes Simons over him. I'm going by what eye tests tell me plus what the numbers say here. But that's fine. We keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Okay. Angel Panasia Ata, nice to see you. Hello, good job. I think they again is a player. There's a player in Garnacho. I think so too. It's maybe a request from Enzo, the coach, and I've said that before. There's no way we'd sign a player if the manager doesn't okay that signing. It's really that simple. So the nonsense we're hearing that the sporting directors are trying to force it on him, no, they're never going to do that. And we have again a manager that again, if you know Enzo Maresca, he'd walk because yeah, he has ego. He'd work if you try to force players on him. And I don't think there'd be shortage of clubs looking to sign him. He's proven that tactically he's capable. But nice to see you, Cole Palmer. I mean, the campaign. I don't think wields any measure of wields considerable influence with regards to whether Chelsea ends up signing Garnacho or not. If the club wants him, they will get the deal. Over the line. And Angel Panasia Ata, do not again post your comments all caps. If you do that, the AI that's policing the chat will delete your message, and it's not a human being, so don't start a fight with them. Okay. Jude is saying, I did not rush to order the new shirt. Don't. You guys know exactly what you guys are doing to me. I wanted to wait until start of the season, thinking we might be lucky to perform at Club World Cup. We won, and our victory was not luck, but well deserved. Yeah, it wasn't even close. But we weren't. Nobody expected us actually to beat them. They were writing poems and all that, how they will mop the stadium carpet with us and all that nonsense. But again, at the end of the day, it wasn't even close. But that's, by the way, stop making me jealous but I'm not ordering another one, honestly. It just wouldn't make sense. Okay, you're just tuning in. Okay, stay. We haven't discussed a lot. Just two items. Much appreciated from Nairobi, Kenya. Smart Mato, nice to see you. We haven't discussed anything. That we're just getting started. Okay. All right, what do we want? What else do we have here? I will take Garnacho over Rogers. Yeah, as numbers have again, we've looked at compared their numbers on the screen, and Garnacho has a better output. But unfortunately, people, I think, more like herd mentality. People these days hardly reason independently. They're just more inclined to you could say join a campaign. Since social media is concerned, again, I think it'd be more accurate to say people are more likely to join a campaign rather than reason independently and logically, maybe. Yeah, I will take Garnacho over Rogers. Because I have seen him stand up in big games, despite coming from the bench. He dealt with Chelsea twice. Okay, I don't like that aspect. So if we sign him, I will support him because he's a good player. Garnacho's attitude cannot override Enzo's personality. Let's give Garnacho the chance, and you could say on the mentorship of his countryman, in our vice captain, maybe he will behave. And if we're saying he has attitude issue, what actually has it done wrong? Nothing. I think his brother's behavior on social media clouds people's judgment that they don't judge him objectively. They just go suck up again, join the wagon of whatever that's people are saying about the kid on social media. And it's looking like it's gonna happen. Big up to you too, Ryan Beck, aka Carlito. Nice to see you, Carlito. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular evening. More likes, people. 17 likes. We can do a lot better than that. Yes, shamelessly, we still do beg for likes. We're not a big account yet. We're just currently at 27,000. 131 subscribers. We're shooting for 28,000 subscribers, and I hope we'll get there as soon as possible. Let's see. Big up to you too. Thierry Henry, he gave Chelsea a chance because he understands football, because he's a good pundit. He's not just going by how good PSG. Again, he didn't go by how good PSG is alone. He said, look, if was that team that beat them 1-0 during the group stages, said if Botafogo could do it, Chelsea can. Yeah, but they didn't give us, a lot of people didn't give us a chance. But I wasn't concerned because history does show that if you underestimate Chelsea in the final, you do that at your own peril. And the chances are, I don't know whether that was the case on that day. PSG did come into that final with the mindset that they've already won, counting the trophy already even before they got to play us. But that's, by the way, people don't like Garnacho the person. They don't speak on Garnacho the player. They are perpetuating a fad, not actual critical thinking. But then, against most people are statistically average. I'm not reading. I'm not reading that, but I get your point. Here's the thing. I don't think it's fair to actually judge him. I don't think it's fair for our judgment of Garnacho to be driven by a narrative that you could say isn't true. Yeah, but once again, as I've said before, driven by his brother's behavior on social media, and not him. And we don't know him personally. And as I've told people, his case is not in isolation. Take a look back. Look at Manchester United. They've been a mess for, you could say, 3 seasons. Yeah, they are falling out with their academy players, all of them. It's been a mess. Scapegoating players, front, back, and center. It just doesn't make sense to judge the kids because of what things that have been said about him that aren't true, really. People forget Garnacho is only 20, and exactly. He can only get better, and it does look like he's coming to Chelsea. If he comes, I'd support him, really, and that's a good player in there. The only possibility for Garnacho to join Chelsea is on a deadline or on loan with option to buy, just how it was with Sanchez. So you're saying would only sign him if we get the opportunity to sign him on a cheap, or maybe sign him for business reasons or something. We'll see. We'll see, but it looks like it's going to happen. He is an easy target. That's another way to see it. Yeah, I do like him, and it's a good thing we've compared his numbers to that of Morgan Rogers. He's actually this is Xavi Simons and Morgan Rogers. His numbers does show that he's actually a good player. Elenga, McTominay, Greenwood, Sancho, and Anthony have recently left Manchester United, and none did so on good terms. Yeah, that's an important factor to consider. None of them left on good terms. This is a culture problem, and I couldn't say it any better. But unfortunately, as I've said, yeah, the people are more likely to join a campaign in most cases, as long as social media is concerned, because that's the main source of information these days. So people are more likely to join a campaign than take a critical look at a situation and then come to a sensible conclusion. That hardly ever happens when the source of information, main source of information, is social media, unfortunately. Yeah, I've been screaming this for weeks. I think because I have somebody in the chat who's saying the same thing. His case is not in isolation. There are all the situations. Again, look at them. I don't even remember Elenga, McTominay, Greenwood, Sancho, and Anthony. I did mention Anthony. I mentioned Sancho, but I didn't mention the 3 first names that are there in Kalita's comment. It's important to always consider such. So, but let's see what happens. That's by the way. Let's see what else do we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way, and Donnarumma isn't coming to Chelsea. Chelsea could bid for Alejandro Garnacho in addition to Xavi Simons. No surprises there. Players of different profiles. Garnacho is more of a winger, traditionally a winger, and Xavi is more of a 10 than he is a winger. But he's versatile enough to fulfill, again, to play on either flanks, actually, not just on the left wing. But that's by the way, let's see what happens there. People don't just like him. And I think Dante did say something similar. Yesterday when we had that conversation. People don't just like the kid, and that's that. All right, this one here, Nicolas Jackson having fun in the village, back home, fresh air, everything. Playing on again, that's sand with kids there. He looks very fit. He's working hard. I hope he stays. That's another player I hope stays at Chelsea. But let's see. Matt Law reporting that Nicolas Jackson is also thought to interest Juventus. Nothing new. I did hear that 2 months ago that Juve they're looking at him. Who are expected to enter the market for a striker if they can move on Dusan Vlahovic. My goodness, we wanted Vlahovic 2 seasons ago. The season after, even under Roman, we did look at him at the time, even before he moved to Juve. We were interested in signing him, but he opted to join Juve rather than join us. I liked him. Actually, did a video, one episode of scouting for Chelsea with Mikhail. But I don't know what has happened to Dusan Vlahovic. But he's still young. How old is he right now? How old is Dusan Vlahovic? Give me a second. Let me check. I liked him actually, but you could say lots of injuries. Lots of injuries hasn't helped him. Vlahovic age. Give me a second here. More likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes that do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Vlahovic age 25. He's still very young, really. Jeez. All right, but that's by the way. Juve, I think probably they're not gonna. I don't think they can afford him. Given Chelsea's valuation of the player, I don't think Juve can afford him. I think if he ends up leaving Chelsea, it'd be to a Premier League club or Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Maybe Newcastle United, you don't know. I don't think Juventus can afford Nicolas Jackson. Wow. Dusan Vlahovic is still 25. Jesus Christ. Excuse me, man. Thirsty. All right. One more thing. If Sesko rejects United to sign for Newcastle, United will sign Kolo Muani from PSG, so Jackson will stay. I do want Jackson to stay. It doesn't hurt if he stays. And if Jackson leaves, I don't think we'd find a capable replacement for him right now. Yeah. I don't think we'd find a capable replacement for Nicolas Jackson right now. I do want him to stay. There's nothing wrong in having such depth. And he's actually good. It's just that, yeah, as we've discussed 1,000 times, he just needs to start being efficient and consistent. He needs to be efficient and consistent in front of goal. Or be efficient in front of goal consistently. That's the only thing he needs to start doing, and he'd be all right. Because he does everything else right. He tracks back effectively. He's capable of a good hold-up play every now and then. Not necessarily his main thing, but he's capable of creating chances for his teammates, even more than he can put away chances. And I've said this, I think I did say this 2 days ago, and I'm going to say it again. If you make some of our fans happy to know that in his first season, actually, he broke Didier Drogba's record. Yeah. And not by a few numbers, by a wide margin. So I think we should give him a chance. But I'm not too sure what's going to happen. You could argue, I think it'd be correct to say 50-50, leaning towards him leaving and him staying. You can balance actually, because here's the thing: we've heard his again the club's valuation, Chelsea's valuation of Nicolas Jackson, something to the tune of 100 million pounds, or at least 80. I think that's reflective of the fact that the club that Chelsea aren't looking to sell him. But we've heard something that again him saying, we've addressed a particular report that suggests he's open to leaving Chelsea, because I don't think, again, if he fears competition, if he feels like he's become the third choice, I think he's up to leave. And that again, if I were in his shoes and I sense that I'm going to become the third option, I'd leave too. But I really do want him to stay. He makes us stronger. If he joins Manchester United, he makes him stronger. If he joins Newcastle United, he makes him stronger. So if we can keep him, why not keep him? And have a very, very strong, and have a good depth. But that's by the way. So here we have this one here. The Xavi Simons. Why is the need for that? All right, okay, there you go. I got it now. Okay, the Xavi Simons deal to Chelsea is close. The Xavi, is it? Okay, Vic says, says it's Xavi. The Xavi Simons to Chelsea deal is closed. That's according to Fabrizio Romano, and I'm happy, honestly. Good scouting work there. We need them. And here's the thing about Xavi. I've talked about this, but because it's a fact. Facts don't change. Facts remain the same. Uh, but in all honesty, in the case of a player, some facts about a player can change as they age. But he's still very young. This particular thing I'm going to talk about right now, I think will be like that for a while. Um, as flamboyant as he is, as good as he is, as good of a dribbler he is, overall, as good as he is as a footballer, usually you don't footballers that are as good as he is and always good at contributing defensively. But in the case of Simons, Xavi Simons, he's an excellent footballer, complete footballer, because defensively he puts in the work too and wins a lot of balls in the final third. He is that good, and that's why I'm happy that we're again serious about getting him, and it's a good thing that he wants to join us in us alone. Arsenal are interested, but he doesn't want to join them. Bayern are also interested, but he doesn't want to join them, which has led to both clubs not really pushing to sign him. And why waste your time? So the kid wants to join us, and that makes me very happy. And he's such a fine player. Him over Xavi Simons, over Morgan Rogers, anytime, any day, for reasons we've talked about 1,000 times here. Let's see. One. Okay, I think we've addressed that one. If Al Hilal brings 100 million, Nicolas Jackson would be gone. I think he'd take it too. I'm not gonna lie. I think Nicolas Jackson, wouldn't hesitate to accept it too, because that's a lot of money. His generation. I think he can build 100 schools in his village that he likes so much, because he does a lot of charity work. But yeah. Vic saying Gittins, Nacho for left wing, Delap and Pedro for striker, Estavo and Nato for right wing, Palma and Simmons for 10. Free Jackson, coach. Did I read it the way you want me to read it? The latter part of your comment, free Jackson, coach. Like, let him go. But I'm just saying, do you really think? Let me ask you this, Vic. Do you really think we're looking to sell him? It doesn't look like we're looking to sell Nicolas Jackson. It just doesn't look like that's the case. Look at them, like free Jackson, coach. Okay, I hope I read that correctly. I hope I read it the way you want me to read it. Didn't I? Did I? I don't like you, man. You are my bro, but no, I don't like you. Let's see what happens. But I'm happy with signing Simmons. He's an excellent footballer, and I've heard Kalita say Simmons is what is it? Something about Nkunku. No, he's not Nkunku. He's a more complete. He's a much better footballer than Nkunku. He, Jesus Christ. The price tag on Jackson shows that Chelsea is reluctant to sell. Yeah, but yep, exactly. Thanks you for the remix there. That doesn't mean if we get a good pay that we're not going to sell. I think that's another way to interpret it. If you can pay up, then yeah, he'd be yours. Packet Fresh, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Sincerely do appreciate you. It looks like this is your first time here. If that's the case, enjoy yourself, feel at home, express yourself. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil. Thank you for joining our Chelsea Perspective community. Please, if you're following the show, something, again, when I was looking at statistics, a lot of you don't have the notification button turned on. Please do so. I think that will go a long way in reminding you that we're live or we released a new video, and we will be releasing a lot of delicious videos. Honestly, we were working on a lot of good stuff, and we're looking to bring on more people to join our team so that things can be flowing without, you say, breaks, unnecessary breaks here and there. And Vicky saying, I think we're in for Garnacho. I think we're in for Garnacho, and Jackson will unlock the move, especially if United signs Benjamin. If United loses Sheshko to Newcastle United, we are not reluctant to sell. It's strategic. I think that's another way to see it. And chances are you're correct and we're wrong for thinking we're reluctant to sell. But I think it'd be correct to still interpret it as us being reluctant to sell until we see that the possibility of us getting what we want in return is there. What's up? I can't complain. Also, Ali, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. I hope you're having a good day, or if you're back home from work already, I hope you had a good day. But thank you for joining us. All right, we're here already quite a lot. So this here reads, okay, before I read that, let me get one more comment in the chat before we read more. One of the items we have lined up here. And after that, we'll go news hunting as usual. 20 likes, people. We can do a lot more than 20 likes. We still have 34 people following the show on YouTube, a total of 134. 34 on YouTube. The rest shared between X and Facebook, where they equally Coachila doesn't know. All right. Lasula saying, imagine Chelsea play on Thursday against Barcelona and against Liverpool on Sunday, and then FA Cup on Tuesday. What to do? I suggest Jackson on Tuesday, starting FA Cup game. The Lap and Joao for Liverpool. Okay. Again, depth is important. So this particular report and Fabrizio, how do you pronounce this thing? Is it Dazin or Dazian? I'm not sure. Here we go, Meta. That's new. Good collaboration with Fabrizio Romano and the company. I think they had the right to broadcast Club World Cup, mainly majority of the games. Here we go, Meta. That's new. Hato to Chelsea, 80% chance. The deal is nearly done. If it's nearly done, then it should be around 90% plus. Dang it. But he reads, here we go, Meta. Hato to Chelsea, 80% chance. The deal is nearly done. Chelsea fans, get ready. So I don't know why it's still 80%. 20 is still a lot. The zone. Okay, thank you. My pronunciation teacher is in the chat. Global home for football, live and all summer long. So yeah, I don't get the 80%. If you're saying the deal is nearly done, Chelsea fans, get ready. 20% is a lot. Yeah, if you was like 99%, yeah, and you say Chelsea fans, get ready, then fine. But 80%, you can't tell me to get ready. 20%, a lot can still go wrong. That's just how I see it. But yeah, of course. All right, thank you, Azo Ali. Nice to hear that you're good. Let's see the zone. Thank you, my pronunciation teacher, as I already told you, is in the chat. All right, someone. So we're gonna go news hunting, and if you have any questions, drop it in the chat and in the live chat, and I'll try to address it. And you know the deal. You don't ask a difficult question. If you ask a difficult question, I pretend I cannot see your question. Okay. All right, let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. If you have any questions, we're gonna go news hunting now to see if anything new emerged as the show progresses. If anything new emerged, we will address it. So 20 likes, I know we can do a lot better than 20 likes. I didn't mean to open this. Give me 1 second here. All right, you know, Joao Felix went to Al-Nassr. Good luck to him, and good sale from us. And we're still waiting for. Here we go for Xavi Simons. Nicolas Jackson could join Newcastle United. That's a possibility. Yorrel Hato to Chelsea. Close. 80% nearly done. I'm not sure how 80% is nearly done. For me, I get it. It's more than 50%. But if you say in real world, in 20% left, anything can still happen. Let's assume you're downloading something and it's at 80%, even at 99.9%. If your internet goes off, that's it. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure, but you're a to Chelsea. I've always known, yeah, that we're definitely getting that deal over the line, and I'm also confident that we'll get the Xavi Simons deal done. Azo Ali here says, I have a question for you, man. Do you know any news about Eze joining Chelsea? Arsenal. He's going to Arsenal. That's what I've heard. And we did inquire and learned at the time that his preference would be to join Arsenal. And when that's the case, honestly, I don't want us to persist on signing him. Good luck to him. I think we'll sign it again. If anything, he has a Premier League experience over some of the players we'll sign. I'd rather we go for players that want to join us, just like Hato and Xavi Simons. All right, what formation do you anticipate Maresca will go with next season? Rumors say possibly 2 10s. But we've seen, in most cases, we've seen him play with 2 10s. That's if his thing actually. And in some cases, you don't get to understand what structure we're using until you pay attention to the average positioning of each of the players that played on that day. I think we're not going to see too much of a difference with regards to structure we play with in the coming season from the when compared to the structure we use during the just concluded season. We'd still see that sort of situation where we see what we here on Chelsea perspective call the starting structure. Yeah, where we see 4-2-3-1, and then to really understand what structure we use in a particular game, you'd have to pay attention to the average positioning of players. There's no way to tell what Maresca does, and that's down to the fact that he's progressive. He changes things quite a lot. I get it. We've talked about this before. The basics of his approach remain the same, which is having one player with the independence to pop up whenever we have the ball to complete the triangles, help us gain a numerical advantage over the opposition and all that. But it's hard to say, really. But I think we're going to play again. We will always try to overload the midfield area, not just the midfield area, to overload again wherever we find ourselves with the ball. All right, Xavi Simons is the real problem. Are you confident enough about his move? Yeah, I'm for multitude of reasons. Let me just say for 2 reasons he wants to join us, and I'm going to say this again. I know I've said that already. Given the fact that Bayern called and didn't push, it simply for me that simply reflects again tells me that they called and learned that he would prefer to join the Premier League. To be more specific, he would prefer his preference would be to join Chelsea Football Club. So yeah, they didn't push. Same thing with Arsenal. They still following the situation according to Fabrizio Romano, which means they're waiting to see if we're able to get the De La Cruz line. But if it falls through, that pounds. So I'm confident that we're getting the deal across the line. And let me go by what Fabrizio Romano himself said here. Not this one, not the Donnarumma story. This one here. Hold on one second. Not Nicolas Jackson here. Yep. Pay attention. The Xavi Simons to Chelsea deal is closed. Hardly ever have I experienced. I don't think I've ever experienced. Not too many times have I experienced where Fabrizio says as such, and the deal ends up falling through. So if he said this, that's it. I think we're getting it across the line. And plus, you could say the bosses are involved in the process. Not even the sporting directors. The sporting directors, you could argue, initiated the process, but the bosses took over because, yeah, they need to make sure we sign them. Probably have learned that the manager really does want them, and we have connection with. You can say, let me just stick with good relationship with RB Leipzig. So with the bosses involved, I think we're getting the deal over the line, and I don't think we're gonna overpay with them. Even if we pay £60 million, we're not overpaying, given how good he is. And at this age, he's very experienced. I get it. We use experience and age interchangeably, but in his case, he's still very young, but very experienced. Okay? All right, what do we have here? That's really bad news if he goes to. No, he's not going to go there. Trust me. He can, some awful ton of events for him to end up at Arsenal. I'm sure that's the case. Well, let's see. Is it to Arsenal is complicated because Palace wants a huge fee. Ooh, Palace wants a huge fee. I didn't know, but I think he probably end up there. I think he pushed to leave because he wants to join them. And Palace, yeah, they're not easy to deal with. I want coffee, but this is the closest to caffeine that I have close by. Dang it, it's bitter. All right. Woo. All right. Again, redemption. Okay. Redemption. Wilson Smith says, "Hello, I'm Redemption, Mr. Redemption. Welcome to Chelsea Perspective, and definitely this is your first time here. If that's the case, feel at home. Express yourself. Here, your opinion matters. We don't have an echo chamber here. You present your opinion, I present mine. We try to come to a sensible conclusion. No name calling. Just keep it civil. But let's hear what you have to say right now. Hello, I'm Redemption. Please, I heard Cucurella is set to be sold. How true is that? Okay. I think no. We're not looking to sell him now. We're not. At least, definitely, he's not going anywhere this summer. But here's something I need to tell you. We did have that conversation yesterday, and I could be wrong. A few things to bear in mind when Cucurella comes to mind. He is not on a new, I don't think it'd be, whether I don't know whether it'd be correct to say our new form of contract. The form of contract, Enzo Fernandez is under Moses Casedo, the newer signings, the heavily incentivized contract, where how much you earn based on what we achieve. You could interpret it as being you earn what you work for. In his case, there's a fixed amount that he gets every week, irrespective of what's going on at the club. And he's one of the top earners. He's not earning too much, but he is one of the top earners. So irrespective of how good he is, I don't see a situation where the club decides, okay, where the club, you can say, will make an exception in terms of getting him to sign a new contract that also isn't as heavily incentivized as that of Cole Palmer, Moises Caicedo, you name the newer signings. we'll be able to get that done, but we'll be creating a problem for us in the long run, which I don't see the club doing, which makes me think that's a possibility when he, again, if he, once we get towards the end of his contract, I think we'd be open to selling him. There's also another possibility. He's not getting any younger, and he's from Spain. Chances are he would want to go back home, either Real Madrid or Barcelona. And there's no way to tell what's going to happen. But one thing is certain, he's not going anywhere now. And we did talk about the report that Cristiano Ronaldo, he's asked his, again, Al-Nassr to sign Cucurella, which I don't believe. That's just absolute nonsense. But one thing I'm telling you right now, be prepared that chances are, as we edge closer to the end of his contract, as his contract winds down, the possibility of him leaving increases for reasons I've explained. He's not on a new form of contract, and I don't see the club making an exception. If you make an exception, you're creating a problem for yourself in the long run. Except there's one possibility that Bobby mentioned. Usually when players sign contract, in some cases, I don't know whether it's in most cases, they do have some sort of clause that you can trigger and extend the player's contract by a year or two. So if we have such in his contract, chances are, as he winds down, we just trigger that one to extend his stay at the club. But what I can tell you, in my opinion, I don't see the club making an exception in terms of having him sign a long-term contract that's not heavily incentivized. And by the time we get to that point, given how good he is, chances are he'd have tons of options to choose from. And chances are a lot of them might be willing, could be willing maybe to pay him a lot more than we're paying him. That's a possibility. And also there's a chance he also will be loyal enough to the club to decide, you know what, let me just stay here. Let me just accept the heavily incentivized contract. We're winning. And as we're winning, I'll be earning as much as I want. You never know. And the chances are also the news that Cristiano Ronaldo has asked Al-Nassr to sign him is just the Saudis are testing waters. We don't know. So be prepared. But right now, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he finishes the season with us. It take a lot. I think it will take a lot for the club to sell him right now. But I'm not going to count that out. Anything can happen because the Saudis, if they come with a 100 million and offer him 700,000 a week because he's that good, I think he'd say bye, Felicia. He wouldn't mind leaving his family in England and then go make that money for a year or two and come back to Europe. So just be prepared that in the future, but not this window. I don't think it would take a lot for Chelsea to agree to sell him this transfer window. All right, I need your formation screen. No hablo English. What do you want us to do? We will do. No need to do a formation thing today. We will do the formation thing. We will still actually do Chelsea's again the strongest 11 for the 25-26 season. But I don't think it makes sense to just do it now. We're news hunting now. Leave me alone. Leave me the heck alone, man. For me, the only thing I don't agree on with Maresca is inverting Gusto. The best, again, aptitude of Gusto is at left back and overlapping. I think Maresca knows that. But here's the thing, we know Gusto isn't going anywhere. I think eventually he will learn. Let's say this. Let's just talk about this quickly. Let's talk about this quickly. The truth remains, Gusto, when he inverts, he does the basics of what the manager demands of him. He does them right, which is just to pop up in areas, complete the triangle, help us gain numerical advantage over the opposition. He does those things very well. Give me 1 second. So he does the basics right, which I've explained. The only thing, again, he needs to start doing right for people to start seeing. You can say for the average football fan to realize he's actually he's not been poor. Is to create chances and shoot effectively, because his shooting is something the rugby union will be proud of, and he hardly ever creates chances. But every other thing he does right, and that's that again. Why you see the manager start getting him to apply himself on the pitch like that, because he gets the basics right. And I think the other aspect of the of his again uh, of what's expected of him, if he's going to be almost always close to the final third or in the final third. Yeah, if you're going to shoot, at least get it a target and also create chances when your teammates make a run, find them with the ball. Those are the two things he hadn't done right when he played in those positions. But the basics, he's been doing them right, which is why the manager keeps starting him there, even when people complain. But when the manager does that and we lose games, when we lose a game, people complain a lot and start highlighting. Um, Again, start discussing how we'd be better off deploying him as a traditional fullback rather than inverted fullback and all that. But that's by the way. Let's see what else we have here. Toby Olaoluwa, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And the Chelsea Champions 2025. Listen, your message got deleted because you wrote it in all caps. The AI, not the human being that's policing the chat, frowns on that. So if you do that, it will delete it and time you out. I think for 5 seconds. So apologies. Remember, it's not a human being. Don't start a fight with it. Just don't use all caps, please, until you become a moderator. Okay. Let's see. I think the reason Chelsea won Garnacho clearly has indicated that Jackson is surely going. I wouldn't conclude. No, I don't think so, because they're not the same profile. Except if you're saying just to make up numbers because we're losing one player, we sign one more to make up numbers, not necessarily because we're losing a particular profile player and bringing in a similar profile to to replace him. But yeah, Bastin, I haven't been here a long time. How are you? I can't complain. And I hope everything is all right with you. And hopefully the case is that you've been busy. And if that's the case, we're happy for you. Bills don't pay themselves. But happy to see you once again, okay? Is Bacola going? No, they're not looking to sell him. Adekoya, Ekugbadu, Ekaro, they're not looking to sell him. Not gonna happen. Yeah. Let's see what else do we have here. We want to win the Premier League. I think, yeah. Given what we're doing, it does seem as if we're looking to win everything. I mean, aim for everything. Then if you get one, two, three, that's fine. But yeah, I like the ambition of aiming to win everything. Bakola, leave him alone. Okay, it's 2:02:35 a.m. Staff, nice to see you once again. Notification bell on. Not much use. These days it can be quirky. It's not conducive to European countries, unfortunately. I was asleep and in no condition to listen. Stop, go away, man. See you another time, but thank you for joining. All right, let's see. They're not looking to sell him. More importantly, honestly, no, actually, Bacola has 6.5 million euros, and Desiree Duo has a 6 point. Okay, plus at PSG bonus based on performance. It's just the same thing we're doing. So Duo has more money than Bacola. Okay, I don't want to get into that. Thank you, Kojo Anyumadu, my bro. Thank you for always reposting the stream whenever you see it. Sincerely do appreciate that. Which is a way I could pay you back, but I just want to say thank you for contributing to the growth of the community. No, coach, I don't want to see Gusto becoming no, he's not becoming a 10. It's just him, you could say, overloading areas. He's not going to become a 10, but I think he'd become more used to applying himself on the pitch that way, and then still do his thing as a traditional fullback if need be. But the manager likes him, and he was pivotal to our win against PSG in the final of the Club World Cup. He was brilliant on that day, and yeah, I was laughing when I started seeing rumors that Bayern are looking to sign him. But here's the one thing I usually pay attention to is whether the news is from Chelsea's perspective or from the potential or the interested parties' perspective. When it's just from the interested parties' perspective, I usually say, yeah, good luck, and that's it. Or if I see that it's become, you can say, viral, or it's talked about a lot within the Chelsea community, then we do pick up the topic and discuss it on here to try to make sense of it. Rather keep Jackson than sign Sesko. I do that. Yep. There's no guarantee Sesko does well in the Premier League. Jackson has proven that he's capable in the Premier League, except, yeah, an aspect of his game that he needs to improve upon. You can say, let me, if you have to choose one thing, it'd be for him to start shooting instinctively, and that's just that. That will make a huge difference. But that's, by the way, the only striker I want to replace Nico is Isaac. We're not going to sign Isaac. That's that's hugely huge money. Yeah, I can't complain, Coach Joe. Thank you so much for asking, my bro. I appreciate you for finding the time to join the conversation. I cannot thank you enough for always reposting the show whenever you see it. Bastin is saying, had a lot of things to do, only went to the bridge twice this year. Woo, been busy. But Heston, once again, bills don't pay themselves. And busy is good. So happy to hear that, Bastion. But thank you for joining the conversation. Kwame Gusto must work on his final delivery. Yep. And that's, people judge him by that. The delivery, final product. People judge him by it, irrespective of how well he does on the pitch. People still judge him by that. They don't care what else he does right on the pitch and all that. All right, once again, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Sincerely, do I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. This particular, just 1 second, I need to check this quickly. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, okay, I realize what that is. Okay, but that's fine. We keep dropping the line. I thought my kids just got the remote and was ordering everything on TV. But all right, Kwame Skilo. I like that. That sounds like a name of the name of a musician. Kwame Skilo. Skilo. Kwame, definitely a Ghanaian bro there, but nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Yeah, he must work on his final delivery and product if you want to. So I want to see this guy, Xavi Simons. I want to see him at Chelsea. I want to see him, and I'm confident that it's going to happen. I did a click on something where we can go news hunting. Where is it? Not this one here. That one is about Yorrel Hato, which could happen soon. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. So let's see. I'm gonna refresh it one more time to see if anything new emerged. Because yeah, even after landing on Vince's timeline, I was again as I read and analyzed the comments there, something new might have emerged. We don't know, but let's refresh it and see. So more likes, people. 28 likes. We can do a lot better than that. We still have 28 people following the show on YouTube. We have on all platforms 139, 37 on YouTube right now. The rest is shared between X and Facebook. All right, this is gone blank right now. It takes a while. X has become too laggy since yeah, Elon took over. All right, let's see what else do we have. Let's go news hunting. All right, Balad, they're cooking Joao Felix. I don't want to read that, but a lot of people are cooking him. Let me see. Is Balak cooking him? Julian Balak, Jean Felix. It doesn't seem there's any turning point for him. It drives coach. It drives coaches mad. They see the potential, but he will never fulfill it. It's a mental thing. It's not that he's not bothered, but he's not listening. I don't. Maybe these guys have connections. Maybe Julian Balak, maybe he's spoken to one of the coaches that has had to deal with Joao Felix, and he told them that. Okay, nothing new actually. I don't know. Nothing new has emerged. This Garnacho story, we've already addressed that. Yeah, so nothing new has emerged. But if you have any questions, drop it in the chat, and I'll be happy to address your question, to answer your question if I can, or maybe pretend I don't see it because it's very difficult. This weekend, the players are expected to be in London, so that they report on Monday on the 6th. What day? The reported return date, was it 6th or 4th? I think 4th. I can't quite remember. More likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Joao Felix. All right, let's go news hunting. I'm gonna scroll further down, and if need be, we can do fans' opinion thing. The labs of finishing training with his personal trainer, all working hard. All of them are working hard. Nicolas Jackson in Senegal, and this. Okay, some comments that again about Yorrel Hato that we haven't addressed. I had that in mind, but I totally forgot about it. But right now now that I've remembered, take them one by one and address them. Ajax continues to target a fee of 55 to 66 million euros to sell Yorrel Hato to Chelsea. They want a similar amount to what Manchester United paid for Lisandro Martinez 2 years ago. Okay, good luck to them. But one thing is certain, I think this deal, as we've heard, um, uh, you can say on the verge of completion. Xavi Simons, everything he does it's a story for Chelsea fans. And my bro, Vince calls him Chef Simons, because he posted something on IG, and then with the chef emoji there. Whatever that means, I honestly do not know. But this kid, I want to learn more about this kid. I don't think I know enough about him. What's his name? Is it from Uzbekistan? He reminds me of one movie like that. Dastan. Is it Dastan? Dastan, yeah. I don't know much about him, but I've heard a lot. I need to do my research. Um, Apparently he's an exceptional talent, but when Vince calls him again, you say something like I'm hearing names like Max Dolman. Yeah, we're moving silence. This kid, I've heard a lot about him, seen videos of his finishing. He can create too. He can create as much as he can finish, and that makes me happy. All right, let's see what we have. Ajax manager, is that Heitinga? Okay, Heitinga on Yorrel Hato's decision not to play against Como in the final. I think that was the final. Correct me if I'm wrong. He himself indicated he didn't want to play. I'd like to leave it at that. If someone doesn't want to play, I'd rather focus on the players I have available to me. That again, I have available. That makes sense. Which is a sign that he's definitely joining Chelsea. So officially, we're news hunting right now. But if you have anything, any questions, drop it. I'd be happy to try to answer your question. Okay, this one here also. Ben Jacobs, Chelsea reaching agreement in principle for Hato is not far off with the deal likely to exceed 40 million euros. It is expected to be finalized this week. And a good player, and at this age, captain the Ajax. I want us to sign him. He will match. He will match out to a serious leader for Chelsea, and I'm happy we're pushing to get the deal across the line. Right, more links, more likes, more likes, more likes. 28 likes. Let's get it to at least 13 likes. Sincerely do appreciate that. In the back end, we're getting closer to 2,000 views, and I think today nearly we've earned nearly 30 or maybe 20 subscribers during the show. Chelsea, okay, we've addressed this one. Let's see, we're going news hunting. And Jose Ruben Romero Ortiz, hi to you too. I appreciate you finding the time joining the show. Anything else here? Chelsea view Xavi as a strong fit due to his versatility. Signing the Dutch international could allow Joao Pedro to play more as a number 9, especially if Nicolas Jackson departs. I don't know. Jackson stayed. I'm not sure. It just Jackson. I think eventually will leave Chelsea this summer. But if it doesn't, fine. And I'd rather he stays. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I didn't read that. Let's see anything else to address here. Donnarumma news. We've talked about that. Chelsea don't want him. It's a signing that wouldn't make any sort of sense for us. Yeah, and I'm glad we're not looking to sign him. And for context, actually, a lot of people will be shocked. I'd rather we keep. What's his name? I'd rather we keep Robert Sanchez than sign Donnarumma. Yeah. And by the way, Donnarumma is actually awful. He's not good on the ball. That good on the ball. So Donnarumma. Yeah, Donnarumma. Then let's do Sanchez. Let's look at their numbers. More likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the Robert Sanchez, Chelsea 24-25. See that? Even if I get it, some people will actually argue that Robert Sanchez played more minutes, always almost 1,000 more minutes than him. But dang it, just look at this. Jesus Christ, interceptions, aerials, one that is high claims, which again, once again, he became efficient with high claims. We became better at dealing with set piece situations. My goodness. Even passes completed. Robert Sanchez is at 99.4, and Donnarumma, again, West passes completed is at Sanchez is at 68.8. Donnarumma is at 41.9. Saves percentage, a lot more. Yeah. Save percentage. Sanchez is at 86 and Donnarumma is at 46. So he's not even close to an upgrade to Sanchez. It doesn't even measure him, let alone be an upgrade to him. Where were we? I think this is where, here. That's why yeah, exactly. I never I didn't know. PSG fans want PSG to buy Sanchez from Chelsea. Yeah, because they've realized that we have a better goalkeeper than them. He's not even close to Sanchez. Sanchez is a much better goalkeeper. And Sanchez has just one issue. The lapses in concentration. You could argue which he's gotten under control from mid-season to the end of the season and the Club World Cup. Every goalkeeper makes mistake every now and then, but he's gotten better, and I'd rather we keep him than Donnarumma. And he's something that Rodrigo, my friend, pointed out on X, and he plays for a team that dominated the French league. And why do you think they're not looking to give him a new contract? Probably because he sucks at it. Why would they? And his salary is crazy. Yeah. So see, look at that. PSG fans want them to buy Robert Sanchez because he's good. Uh Donnarumma versus Sanchez, who thought this would happen? Yeah, exactly. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. If I look at their numbers, I'd be seeing Sanchez beating him in nearly all the metrics. He Donnarumma only better Sanchez in two metrics: short passes and long passes, and that's it. Shot stopping, he's not even close. Yeah, aerials, that is high claim, he's not even close, which is important in the Premier League and important for us, really. So why I didn't even know, honestly. I was again a few weeks ago, I didn't know this. I was one of those, you can say, when I read the rumors, the reports, when I read reports suggesting that it looks like he will eventually leave PSG as they're not looking to extend his contract. I was one of those thinking maybe, yeah, we should sign him, but no, he shouldn't even come close. He should have, we should bet run away. It's not even close. Like, dang it. Jesus Christ. No wonder why they don't want him to stay. We, you see, I think Chelsea fans probably they've realized that we don't need him for anything. Only for this guy, will I no, this person will let him know for Sanchez. No, I will not let him go for Sanchez. And they've had, again, the Club World Cup final did provide an opportunity for a good head-to-head test, and Sanchez won distribution and saves. He mopped the floor with them on the day. Where were we doing the news hunting again? Gosh, I've lost it. I don't like that, really. Oh my gosh, where were we doing the news hunting? Is it here? It looks like here. So we looked at this, okay, and this, yeah, Yorrel Hato, and then Joao Felix has completed his move to Al-Nassr on a 2-year contract. He has already participated in his first training session. We've addressed that. The Nicolas Jackson news, we've also addressed that. But as I scroll down, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat, live chat session, and we'll try to address it. Lusula here says that when Chelsea play against Sanchez friends, we should start another goalkeeper, especially against Brighton. Sanchez gives the ball gives the ball away to his former teammates like he still plays for them. My goodness, that's funny, really. So Nicolas Jackson is also thought to, yeah, I think we've addressed that one too. So we continue on this hunting. This year, Newcastle United are currently trying to sign Benjamin Sesko, but could look towards Nicolas Jackson if that move falls through. I think they will succeed in getting Sesko. I'm not sure how much Leipzig are asking. I'm not sure really. The arrival of Xavi Simons at Chelsea will not necessarily close the door on a potential deal for Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho to Chelsea will eventually happen, wouldn't it? It looks like it. I thought when I saw pictures of photos of Yorrel Hato on X with mustache, I thought people were just adding that to make him look funny. It turns out he has a mustache, actually. How could I have missed that all the while? Wow. This year, so Tosin Adarabioyo played more minutes than Nicolas Jackson last season. Yeah, Jackson was injured, but I didn't know Tosin played that much. I didn't know either. Okay, minutes played, Cucurella tops everybody, followed by Moises Caicedo, Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, um, Levi Kowa, Pedro Neto, Adarabi Tosin. Hmm. So yeah, okay. Nicolas Jackson, the least actually of the players listed here. All right, that's by the way. 9 hours ago, quoting Matt Law here, which reads, Yorrel Hato can play in a range of defensive positions, including a centre back, but Chelsea predominantly view him as providing depth and competition at left back. That's how I see it too. But he's an excellent footballer, man, and I'm happy. Are there any news from Nkunku departing? Nothing new, but I wouldn't count that out. It looks like eventually he'd end up leaving Chelsea. How soon? I honestly do not know. Yeah, for a few days now. I don't think we've talked about him for a few days now, and that's because it's. I don't. There aren't too many clubs interested in. I haven't actually heard one. We've heard about. We heard of Bayern interested in signing him, but that have died down. Nothing new. So it's difficult to say. Nkunku, what happens, I do not know, but I'd swear that he's definitely leaving Chelsea this transfer window. Didn't mention Chelsea. It makes sense. Okay, that's because we're not looking to sign him. I don't think it makes any sort of sense to go for him. What are we hearing here? Pep Guardiola news. I don't care really what he does with his life. I just wish him well. Um, let's see what else do we have here. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry, guy. How much Fulham want to pay for KDH? I haven't heard anything with regards to how much they're willing to pay for KDH, and I don't think we're looking to sell him either. I think everything comes down to what he wants for himself. If he's again okay with being a squad player, which doesn't necessarily mean that if he proves that he should be starting over any other players that he wouldn't get a chance to start. We're not looking to sell him, but it's up to him. Definitely if he decides that he wants to leave to be starting games, maybe get a chance to get a call up to represent England. I think he'd leave, but I don't know what's going to happen. And here's the most interesting thing actually. A lot of Chelsea fans don't want KDH gone. I couldn't stop laughing when I started reading a lot of comments from Chelsea fans saying that they want him to stay. They don't want him gone. Hardly, I don't remember seeing one uh, saying something that suggests they want him sold for any amount. Actually, I think this is a good player. I've always said that, but I later realized that maybe the pressure of being a Chelsea player got to him, leading to him underperforming when he got the opportunity to prove that he should be starting. But the truth remains, I think it's important to also remember that he was injured. Again, he wasn't fully fit before joining us, and therefore didn't really participate during our preseason tour. It was in the United States also, but yeah, that's funny, really. And Kwame Skilo says here, is it Skilo or Skello? But either of the two. PSG handed has handed Donnarumma a renewal proposal that reduces his that reduces his salary and increases his bonuses, which he has turned down. So PSG has turned their attention to Lucas Chevalier. Is this Chevalier of Lille? And I think probably they want him gone. They want him gone. And his situation, you see, yeah, probably could be the sort of thing that we'd see with Cucurella. It might not be exactly the same. It could be in Cucurella's case, it could be just us. Yeah, we want to keep you, but you'd have to sign a new form of contract heavily incentivized contract where you earn what you work for. If so, that's funny, really. But they don't want him because he's awful on the ball, in my opinion. And Luis Enrique, you have to be excellent on the ball to be his goalkeeper. So now, yeah, they found a way to get him to run. You know, I like KDH. He's a very good backup player. Does he see himself the same way? No, I'd argue no. And if he sees opportunity elsewhere and believes he'd be a starter there, I think he'd leave. And if I were in his shoes, I'd do the same thing. But let's see what happens, really. Yeah, let's see what happens. I like him. Maybe the manager will convince him that if he proves he should be starting over anybody, he gets a chance to be starting games. But I really do not know. Thank you for 30 likes. I think one more person dropped a like, so we got it to 30 likes. But I still believe we can do a lot better than that. If you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We still have 44 people following the show on YouTube, a total of 162. 44 on YouTube, the rest on X. Sincerely do appreciate you all. All right, let's see more likes, people. And Kwame Askilo says the KDH is a good squad player and he does not complain. More importantly, he does not complain. Whenever, again, he gets a chance, he gives 150%. He has gradually warmed himself again into the team and deserves at least another year. It's up to him to decide. And as we've learned, we're not looking to sell him. Again, he decides what he wants to do with his future. I think Saudi is better for Sterling. Would he want to go to Saudi Arabia? No, he would not. Vincent Royo, we've talked about that before. Would the Saudis actually come for him? No. Saudis, they've become picky. Gone are the days when they're desperate for players on the verge of retiring that are, you could say, even if they were popular, but currently unpopular, uh, they were desperate to sign such players at the time. But now the league has improved. The quality of the league has improved. They they can sign any player they want. They're signing younger and younger players. Yeah. So, but we'll see what happens. They've laid the foundation that has allowed them, enabled them, you can say that has set the stage for them to be able to sign younger players. Whoever, again, I haven't seen. No, they don't sign older players that much these days. You'd have to be exceptionally good at what you do that they look beyond your age and sign you these days because they're able to attract younger players, and younger players don't care. The quality of the league has improved, and if you follow the games during the Club World Cup, you'd see firsthand, yeah, that the league shouldn't be taken for granted. Lucilla says, I heard the base salary of the Donnarumma is 10 million, but he wants more. PSG wants to keep the salary, but increasing the bonuses based on performance. Yeah, I think that's how a lot of clubs these days. That's how they operate. And in this case, his again, I get it. He's won a lot with them, was pivotal to their Champions League winning run and all that. But I just the way I told people that I don't think PSG, I don't think they were going to sign Osimhen. I don't think Donnarumma is Lucho's type of goalkeeper, but he just had to make do with what he had at the time, what he has, and then, so to speak. But take his time to find his ideal type, his ideal goalkeeper. So yeah, but I think it's gone. And I wouldn't be surprised if PSG, if they push to sign Mike Mayer. They haven't. They're focused on the little goalkeeper, which is good for us because I'd like Mike Mayer to join Chelsea, but not Donnarumma, really. He really sucks. But he will get better because he's still very young. All right, more likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 30 likes. We can do a lot better than that. We still have 45 people following the show on YouTube. In total, we have 163 people, 45 on YouTube, the rest on X. Shared the rest is shared between X and Facebook with the equally. Once again, Coachila doesn't know. So Mike Mike Pendas, the Belgium kiddo. I've heard that he's a good goalkeeper, but still very young, inexperienced. Pendas is seen as a keeper who someday is capable of reaching the highest level with the Chelsea Strasbourg system, and this is an opportunity to live up to those beliefs because I think he'd become their starting goalkeeper because Petrovic was their starting goalkeeper, Strasbourg's starting goalkeeper, and then Petrovic sold to Bournemouth, and this guy who joined them on loan, I've heard that he's good enough to be their goalkeeper. I hope he improves, comes back, even if Sanchez decides to leave, he stays. Oh my goodness, everyone is cooking Joao Felix. I remember the one. I will never forget that one. I think I did a YouTube short video on that Italian journalist when he joined a few months after he joined AC Milan on loan. And an Italian journalist, I can't remember his name, said something that he's as useless as he's beautiful. He didn't even say handsome. It's as useless as he's beautiful. Jesus Christ, what did he do? I like this guy, and I think I don't know whether to say he's misunderstood, but I think I'd be wrong. Why? Because there's a pattern to the whole thing that's been happening to him. But that's not to say certainly that it's all his fault. I think he's misunderstood. I think the whole mistake started by him accepting to join Atletico Madrid to play under a manager like as Diego Simoni doesn't really value flair. Honestly, he was. I feel bad for him. Now look at what FIFA license agent Mendelewish. I don't know how you slams Joao Felix. If I butchered his name, apologies. He reads Joao Felix hasn't played football for a long time. He's a printer. Jesus Christ, what did he do? I don't think this is fair, really. Even the cooking alone is enough to drain him mentally. What did he do? The Italian journalist said he's as useless as he's beautiful. This guy now, Jen Mendelewist, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing. Let's just go with Jen, Jen, says this is not nice. They're not gonna, all of them will not go to heaven. What did he do, man? The agent says that Joao Felix hasn't played football for a long time. He's a printer. He's a money printing machine. And with his own approval, since he doesn't rebel, he should have been in charge of his career a long time ago. And a long time ago, not allowing people to decide for him and send him to projects he doesn't like. Is he really much about the project he doesn't like? No, I think it has to do with him. When you know his potential, it's sad. I do know his potential, which was why I wasn't happy that Enzo Maresca, as much as I like him, wasn't able to create a healthy competition between Joao Felix and Cole Palmer. He's that capable, really. But let's read on. He doesn't. He should have been in charge of his career a long time ago, not allowing people to decide for him and send him to project he doesn't like. I think this is more like a slight dig on his agent. Yeah, when you know his potential, it's sad, but he's an example of what not to do when you are a young player with the potential. And I'd still go back to saying the main mistake was joining Atletico Madrid as his first club to play under a manager that I'd argue doesn't really value flair. He'd like to get you to, again, more importantly, learn how to defend before he allows you the independence or the freedom to express yourself as a creative player that you are. Ah, Jesus. This is really not nice, really. A printer. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Chelsea all the way. Vincent Royal, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you for saying that. Um, yeah, it will be shameful to see Donnarumma joining Galatasaray after Osimhen. Uh, listen, I don't want us to sign him. I don't think he's. I think if we sign him, look at his again aerial again percentage. You could, let's just use a more specific language because we're talking about goalkeepers. High claims. He doesn't command his box very well, and in the Premier League, you need to be able to do that effectively, irrespective of how good your defensive line or how tall your defensive defenders are. But no, we don't need him. I think we'd regret it if we sign him and let Sanchez go because of him. And imagine PSG fans wanting their club to sign Robert Sanchez. What does that tell you? Yeah. What's the situation? Kendrick Pies will go on loan. I think that's already been done. It goes on loan to Strasbourg, which I like. I'm going to say something I've said before. We could, out of selfishness, because of how good he is, and maybe uh, keep him at the club, or maybe allow the fans, emotionally driven um, desire to keep him at the club, do so, and then stifle his development. I'd rather him go to Strasbourg, and I'm quite sure he's guaranteed to be starting games week in, week out because he's an excellent talent and continue developing as a shoot. And by the time he'd come back to Chelsea, we'd have a place for him, just like the case of Andrea Santos. So I don't think it makes any sort of sense to keep him at Chelsea. And if you allow our fans, out of selfishness, I think they demand we keep him at Chelsea. And if we do that, we will regret it because we will, again, dwarf his development, for lack of a more relatable or accurate language there. Vincent Roy said, I think Joao Felix has to cook himself well to be welcome at Chelsea. He had a good opportunity during his second stint, but wasn't patient. He maybe that main guy mentality was his biggest problem. Wants to be main guy, but here's the thing. I'm still gonna say this. I am one of Enzo Maresca's biggest fans, but it wasn't right that he had to say publicly that Joao Felix wasn't playing because of Cole Palmer. That wasn't right. If I were Joao Felix, I'd leave too. Yeah, knowing that he doesn't respect me or value me as a player. That's the only thing. I think a lot of you have heard me say that 1,000 times. I think, but he himself wasn't patient enough. Had he stayed, chances are he'd be a regular, and probably we wouldn't be looking to sign some of the players we're looking to sign now or have already signed. So partly Enzo Maresca's fault and his fault too. His second stint at Chelsea was not a failure. He contributed in a lot of ways. Created that one delicious chance, scored a few goals here and there, and that compared to the ratio of that to the game he played, you'd know that his second stint at Chelsea was not a failure. Watching also, dialogue, nice to see you, Kedi. I hope you're well. Esther Willen is gonna cook. I believe that. I don't doubt that. But here's something I'm going to tell you, something that Bobby asked in your panelists here. He said 1,000 times, be prepared to give him time. Be prepared to give him time because there's no guarantee. Because there's no guarantee he'd hit the ground running. He might need time to adapt. Yeah, acclimatize, maybe get if you want to get used to the Premier League. He might need that time, but one thing I can assure you, he's not gonna fail. He will cook eventually. Whether he starts cooking immediately, would need time to warm the stove. Yeah, that's relatable given what we're talking about. To cook, it's a possibility. So yeah, let's see. What's your favorite DreamWorks movie? I don't know, really. Dalo one Dalu do the league. Do the league. Yeah, with time he will cook. Yeah, but chances are he hits the ground running immediately. That's a possibility. We never know, but we just have to. I just know that he's not gonna fail. Yeah, I know. Here's something that I can't stop laughing about. A lot of Chelsea fans watched him. I think it was Copa America or so, or a friendly, or maybe a World Cup qualifier. It was again under Ancelotti after Ancelotti took over the Brazilian national team, and after a game, Jesus Christ, you should see what Chelsea fans were saying on X on that day after the game. And I was telling them, listen, that's not enough sample size. And still, during the Club World Cup, they were slating him. They were saying all sorts of nonsense. Even after he he's he won multiple man of the match awards. But unfortunately, yeah, the average fan, uh, you say there's a way they judge players. You'd have to score 1,000 goals, create 1,000 chances. Yeah, but here's one thing I know about humans. When we um, expect too much, we usually get disappointed because there's nothing we see that will be enough to gratify what we expect. So unfortunately, a lot of people, given the hype around his talent and all that, they watch those games with a lot of expectations, and irrespective of how well he played in those games, it wasn't enough to convince them that yeah, he's the real deal. But I wasn't moved, but I was just surprised at how quickly they were able to start complaining that yeah, too much hype, not that good, yada yada yada. But that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. If you have any questions, drop it in the like section, and I try to address it. All right, Wachiku here is saying that Jamie Gittins has potential. That goal Esther Williams scored against scored William. I think it's William. Esther Williams scored against Chelsea. That was crazy. Yeah, and a lot of people were blaming Robert Sanchez. No, he was expecting a cross, and Estevao read that, probably had his eyes on Sanchez and realized Sanchez was expecting him to cross it. Even it was Levi Cowell was also expecting him to look for a cross. Yeah, scored against Chelsea, was mad. Esteban William is still young but talented, and he doesn't need a lot of pressure. But I think he can handle it. I think it's proven that again the list of our concerns. I think he's done a lot to show us that the list of our concerns should be how he'd be able, whether he'd be able to deal with the pressure. You can say that one the pressure of being a Chelsea player. I think not an issue really. I'm not concerned. But I definitely understand that he may need some time, but eventually he will cook. Like you, let me use the term you used. Let's see. And those saying that forget that they do. Yeah, exactly. They don't care. Yeah. He's very young. Yeah. All right, Joao Felix. I feel bad. And I don't think the cooking helps. I hope that doesn't affect him mentally, one way or the other. All right, Tottenham are in talks to sign Rodrigo from Real Madrid, but nothing has been decided by the player who could stay at Real Madrid. He has the option to stay. I think, like I heard, Madrid told him it's up to you to decide what you want to do. If you want to stay, well, fine. If you want to leave, up to you. But I think he'd look to leave. because what I just said simply means you're not guaranteed to be the starting player. Yeah, if you're ready to stay and fight for your place, fine. If you're not, bye, Felicia. All right, this is. I think I like this. When I was lining up the items we've discussed already, um, I didn't find this at the time, and this is important. This reads: There's no chance of Mark Cucurella leaving Chelsea, despite reports linking Al-Nassr with a move for the Spanish fullback. The, the the link in question specifically says, Jesus Christ. The link in question specifically says that Cristiano Ronaldo he's asked Al-Nassr to try and sign him from Chelsea. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Joao Felix needs to ask himself some questions. Yeah, he's got talent uh, that he's holding in. Yeah, there's still a good player there. All right, Mark Cucurella is untouchable, but yeah, I don't think we want to sell him. Do I think that it remains the same? I don't know really, because he's gonna have options, and then we'll have with again it be up to us to decide whether we want to make an exception to extend his contract in its current format. To be more specific, he's not on our current form of contract, which is the form of contract we offer to our newly signed again to our newer signings or maybe newly signed players that are heavily incentivized. Um, he might not want to extend, and I don't see us making an exception, except if we have a clause on his current contract, which we can just trigger and then extend his contract in its current form, which you could argue other players will have an issue with that. But if he signs an entirely new contract, long-term contract, and again, still, you can say in its current form, I think we're creating a problem for ourselves. But I'm not gonna complain too much about that. When we get to that bridge, let's see how the club deals with it. All right, Chelsea valuation for Hato started at 40 million euros, but I think they are prepared to go up to 40 million pounds. Really? Ajax starting points is in excess of 15 million pounds. I think eventually we'll get that deal over the line. I'm not concerned. So we're news hunting now, so we will be looking at a mix of items, not specific to one player or the other. Yep. And Xavi Simons and Yorrel Hato are close to signing for Chelsea Football Club. That is the most important thing to know, and I'm happy. Let's see what else we have here. That's why he needs a backup. That's why he needs a backup. At some point, he might break down due to some games played. Yeah, burnout. Yeah, we really need to wrap up the Hatter deal. I think we shouldn't be in a rush. He wants to join us and us alone, and it's made it clear to the Ajax hierarchy that yeah, he wants to join Chelsea. I think that makes a whole lot of difference, and in my opinion, I think eventually we'll get that deal over the line. Cuckoo is unteachable. Please let him stay. Untouchable, you mean? Okay, it happens to the best of us, actually. Your device trying to teach you how to spell, right? Untouchable, yes, but that can change for reasons I've explained, really. All right. So if you have any questions, drop it in the chat section, and I'll try to address it. Anything else to address here? 33 likes. Thank you, people. I appreciate that. We've read this before. We've addressed this before. Yorrel Hato told Ajax manager and the director yesterday that he wants to go to Chelsea. His desire is to have his opportunity in the Premier League, and he believes in the Chelsea project. Things you like to hear. Things you like to hear. 1 second, right here. I just wanted to check something here. All right, what else do we have here? Imagine Xavi Simons in that attack. Yeah, well, it's getting scarier. I agree, it's getting scarier. I just hope they kick the ground running. I hope they will. I think they will because it's you can say we're not just signing them uh for the sake of signing them. I think of late, if you're paying attention to the players we've signed so far, I think it'd be clear that we're signing players that once we get the deal over the line, it'd be plug and play. Players we've taken our time to look at the way our manager prefers to approach games and take our time to look at players that we know will be a good fit. So that aspect is very important. Once that is the case, then I don't think it'd take a lot for a player to adapt. Yeah, so I agree with you. Garnacho to Chelsea, is it possible? You best believe it. It could. It looks like it's going to happen. If anything, here's the thing. I'd go 70-30, leaning towards him joining Chelsea than not. And he's not a bad player. It's just that people not looking beyond, you could call, because herd mentality, just what big accounts echo. You see, when you listen to people, you'd learn that they are echoing things that the big accounts in the community are saying. Not that he's a bad person. We don't know him personally. And something that I've talked about, and Kalita was here, he did talk about it also. We don't know him personally. The only thing we can mention is his brother's behavior on social media. But look at Manchester United. Look at players such as Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, him, Alejandro Garnacho. There are other names that I don't even remember, but my friend and bro, he did mention all of them. So, yeah, Garnacho's case is not in isolation. There are all the cases there to look at and realize, yeah, maybe it's the club's fault. It's a culture thing, just like Calito can described it. I'm not concerned. Do I think we should sign him? Do we really need him? I'd say no, but I'm not the manager. He knows what he wants. So if we get him, I'll support him. And I think he's a good player. And he's still very young. Isn't he just 20? That tells you a lot. So if the behavior is a concern at 20, that's very common with young players. Go look at Xavi Simons' case. He's had his own uh, share of again issues too. That if you paid attention to them, you'd say no, don't sign him. And I think I had one of our community members here say PSG players say are saying that what's his name, Xavi Simons, he's a bad kid, doesn't behave well, and all that. I'd be nice to see you. Big up, my bro. I do hope you're doing well. I nearly skipped your comment, man. Where have you been? Uh, Hopefully you've just been busy with work again. If that's the case, good. All right, let's see. Yeah, you're right, sir. Xavi is a hustler and a hard worker, and he will fit in perfectly. And we can usually players that are as good as Xavi, um, they don't contribute a lot defensively, but in his case, he does. Wins the ball a lot in the final third. He's unique, honestly, given his ability, how good he is, again, how he contributes defensively, that makes him unique. Watching Cucurella, so here says Garnacho to Chelsea might happen. First, I think Nkunku might be sold first. Garnacho is talented, but at times the environment that a player is in can actually affect their development. It's really that simple. That's a delicious comment, by the way. But a lot of people I don't know. These days, a lot of people don't reason. You can say, don't think for themselves. They just, I don't know if it'd be correct to say follow the punch, or maybe join the campaign. As long as social media is concerned, I think it'd be right to say, these days, again, yeah, it's easier for people. People just join whatever campaign that's, you can say, whatever campaign that's going on, irrespective of what it is about. Actually, you just want to be part of it. All right. I really like Hato, but I don't know why we are not considering Valentin Bako. He's a cheaper option. Honestly, I'm not going to pretend I know the player you just mentioned. Maybe I know them, but not by the name. Honestly. BZ, I've been working hard on getting a Dante Premium Wi-Fi. Dante is still on vacation in Dubai having some fun, so he has excellent Wi-Fi where he is. He got the opportunity to attend an event hosted by what's the sponsor? Shirt sponsor we had. Again, we finished the season with Damak. Yeah, he attended the event that Damak hosted. He's having some fun. I think he'd be there for one more week or so. I don't know if he's wrapping it up right now. Right. 34 likes. Let's get the likes up. We will be rounding up soon. We'll be streaming for 2 hours and 17 minutes. That's not easy. And it's just that I enjoy interacting with you all. All right. Imagine Garnacho polishing his finishing with that blistering pace of his. He's going to be deadly. Well, again, fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. Indeed, let's see how it goes. I mean, but it's looking likely. And the fact that we've heard that irrespective of whether we sign Xavi Simons or not, that we're still looking to sign Garnacho, I think if we end up not signing him, it'd be because he's overpriced. But I think if we make a move, if we make our interest official, I think he'd tell them he wants to join Chelsea, which will make it a lot easier for us. I'm begging my United and Arsenal fans to join us because we are winning the Premier League. Chelsea is the name, blue is the color. I like that. I like that. Thank you. Again, the signings were making sure how ambitious we are. I think we want to win everything, and I like that. Aim to win everything. Then if you end up winning 1, 2, or 3, fine. All right, let's see a few items that we can address here and then call it a day. The transfer fee Ajax wanted for Yorrel Hato is over 40 million euros. Chelsea want to spend a maximum of 40 million euros, but they can try and find an agreement midway with whatever that means. So that's it. I don't think anything new has emerged. It's been an excellent conversation. Yep. I enjoyed it. I don't know about you. So I want to say thank you because we've come to the natural end of this particular show. Thank you to Vincent Royo. I appreciate you. Wanchukuchino. So thank you. One Nedalo. IB. I appreciate you. Letness is greatness. But yeah, we're about to round off. Kwame Skilo. I appreciate you. Who else was here? Uchenna Emmanuel. Thank you. A lot of Igbo brothers here. And that's it. If I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. Lusula also was here. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew. Born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue, through the silence and the roar. Still blue, even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shed and crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue.